You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Glad you can join me for another podcast of All Things Sports with Mike Davis. I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, comment, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Go to any of the social media links in the description box to get in contact with the show for any comments or any suggestions. I won't take up much more of your time. Let's get into it. All right, so today I wanted to have kind of a basketball debate between DWade and James Harden. So recently I was listening to a podcast that features Jeff Teague and some other guys on the, I believe it's called the 520 podcast. Jeff Teague, former NBA player, and he had some interesting things to say. He pretty much said that James Harden is a better player than I'm not sure why I'm thinking about Dwight Howard. Dwayne Wade. So he said that the reason he went this way is because when you saw Dwayne Wade when he was by himself, when he didn't have the Shaqs and LeBron wasn't with him, he kind of was an average superstar, pretty much it brought him down to the level of James Harden. So I kind of wanted to dive into that, but for those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, give you a little insight on some of the guys we're talking about. Dwayne Wade, nicknames Flash, great career with the Miami Heat, known for his tenacious defense. I mean, I've seen DWade lock guys down, and when he really had to get a stop. Not too many guards, can do that. Of course, the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan, could, but we're not talking about MJ. But DWade, explosive athleticism, during his prime, great on defense, clutch performances. I mean, the guy really did come up clutch in his career. Won multiple NBA titles, Finals MVP in 06. It's not much. I mean, look, Dwayne Wade was that guy. I mean, I've seen people put Dwayne Wade like in their top 5 as far as shooting guards career, and I have no beefs with that. I believe he averaged 22 points in his career, 5 assists, 4 boards. The guy was he was something to watch in his prime. He broke down toward the end of his career, but those prime years, DWade was something to watch. Now, James Harden is still playing. But James Harden is more so known for his scoring ability. He's played for multiple teams, the OKC Thunder, Houston Rockets, Brooklyn Nets. Now he's with the Sixers. And you see mess coming out today with Daryl Morey. He's saying, he's not going to be a part of any organization that Morey is a part of. And Harden can kind of be a drama queen at times, but James Harden, look, he's a former MVP. Great scorer. The guy can score the basketball. Great ball handling skills. Knows how to draw fouls. The step back three is when you think about that, you think about James Harden. He's led the league in scoring multiple times, and the guy can carry an offense. James Harden can carry an offense by himself. Now, when comparing these two guys, their careers, Wade and Harden, it's important to consider that they kind of played in different eras and they both have different styles. Wade played at a time, when the game was more physical. It wasn't as reliant on the 3-point shot. He excelled in playing defense. The defensive edge automatically goes to DWade, because James Harden plays that, that O-lot defense, just the Olay defense. He just lets you through. But On the other hand, you have James Harden, where he played in an era of high-paced offense. You know, the where they do rely on the three-point shooting, and that's James Harden's bread and butter. You know, James Harden can hit that step-back three. His ability to draw the foul, get to the line, it changed the game. You know, you have to put James Harden in their conversation. You know, so look, both players had great impacts on the game. I believe anyway. You know, their strength, they have their own strengths, their own weakness. You know, Wade was a lockdown defender, leader on the court. Harden style different from that. His more was on the offensive skill set. You're not going to find too many guys that have a better offensive skill set than James Harden. So again, who's better? I mean, look, that's a tough call, you know, and really it comes down to your own personal preference. You know, what do you value? Do you value all around excellence, leadership, a competitive spirit? Then you're probably going to have to go with DWade. You know, that's probably going to be your choice. But if you appreciate the offensive firepower, the guy that can get his shot when he needs to, the scoring ability, then James Harden is probably going to be your preference. Now, my preference, I'm going to say this. I saw people saying that Jeff Teague needs to be drug tested immediately for saying this, for saying that he would choose James Harden over DWade, because when you saw DWade when he was by himself, the Miami Heat did not win. And I'm going to be one of the few. I'm going to have to agree with Jeff Teague. I see both sides of the argument. But me, myself, I'm going to have to agree with Jeff Teague. I had to do a little homework. And when DWade was by himself, the man did not really do much winning. Now, his rookie year, I believe they might have been, they were somewhere around 500. They might have been over 500. But they were close around that 500 mark. That was his rookie year when Lamar Odom, I don't know if people remember, he played with DWade, Wade's rookie year. Brian Grant. That was actually a pretty fun basketball team. I believe Eddie Jones was on that. I want to say Eddie Jones was on that Miami Heat team with DWade. But that was a pretty good team. But you know, they made the trade, shipping Grant and some others to LA. I believe Samaki Walker as well. They sent them to LA to get Shaq. So early in Wade's career, let's talk about it. So we're going to ignore his rookie year, because I believe Shaq came to his second year, Dwayne Wade's second year or third year in the league, something like that. So we're not even going to look at that. He won early in his career. Let's look at his first full season without Shaq. First full season. I'm not even going to look at the season where Shaq was shipped off to Phoenix halfway through the season. First full year without Shaq, Dwayne Wade's Miami Heat went 15-67. Okay, 15-67. Next year after that, the Miami Heat went 43-39. Next year after that, the Miami Heat went 47-35. That's pretty average. That's pretty James Harden-esque as far as wins and losses go. Okay, so the next year, Dwayne Wade gets LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and you know they end up going 58-24. That's his first year with LeBron. So now he's back on the winning side. First year without LeBron, when LeBron goes back to Cleveland. So the honeymoon is over. LeBron's moved on. First year without LeBron, Miami Heat goes 37-45. The next year, 48-34. And then after that, he played in Cleveland and in Chicago. He comes back to Miami. Well, he's traded back to Miami from Cleveland. And the Miami Heat go 44-38. And then his last year in the league, he goes 39-43. So I get what Jeff Teague is saying, and I'm going to have to agree with him. Now, I'm not going to pick James Harden. If I had to pick between the two, I'm still taking Dwayne Wade. I'm still taking DWade. But as far as what Teague was saying, where Dwayne Wade, when he was by himself and he didn't have all the superstar help, he kind of was just your regular run-of-the-mill superstar. You know, he was James Harden-esque. I mean, I get it. So, like I said, I see both sides of the argument. You know, people saying that Jeff Teague might need to be drug tested, but I kind of agree with Teague. But I'm still not picking James Harden over Dwayne Wade. So you have that. So again, I see where Jeff Teague is coming from. But look, hey, I hope that this gave some of you some insight into my opinion, you know, between who are you going to choose, DWade or, you know, James Harden. But remember, look, basketball, that's one of the great things about basketball, you know, the diversity of the game, you know, and the different playing styles and the different eras. You know, you can go any kind of way you really want to in deciding who it is that you're going to roll with. But in this situation, I see Jeff Teague's point, but I'm rolling with DWade. DWade, to me, was a better player. Hell of a lot better of a leader than James Harden. But I get his point. Without superstar power, DWade was kind of, his teams didn't do much. You know, they were pretty much almost 500-ish. You know, they were around that middle mark. You know, around that that 4, 5, 6 seed. You know, but I'll take it. I'll take it before I take James Harden. You know, but hey, look, that's all I got for you today, folks. Look, I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to any of the social media links in the description box to get in contact with the show for any comments or any suggestions. You've been listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis, and remember, it's your world. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm out. Peace.
You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.